I'm glad you have settled in. I know it ain't easy moving to a new city. I know, dear. I just wish it wasn't in another state. I will miss you so much. Oh, pish posh. I'm your mother. I will always miss you. Oh, your aunt is here to take me to lunch. I know I keep saying it, but I love you so much. Make sure you are eating right and taking showers, doing laundry, and possibly find a cute girl to bring home. You never know. I love you, my dear.
Lo lamento, por favor. I am so sorry. It's fine. You aren't hurt, are you? Yeah, you kinda did step in my way. You must be new to town. I see the same people along the trails every morning. And this is the first time I've seen you. Recently moved in. Yes, the Catalan group. I actually worked there myself. I did hear there was a new hire that was starting next week. I guess I get to be the first to welcome you to the office. Welcome to the Catalan group. No worries. Hey, why don't you join me for a bit on the trails? This is my favorite part to run. I can use a little break from running. Sure, I can give you pointers on the bus. One of the biggest things to remember with our boss is that she is a very feisty Latina. If you want to be in her good graces, make sure you are not late. And bringing her a coffee and donuts if you are running late would definitely put you back in her good graces. Hasta mayor, she loves donuts in general. Oh, and if you need to leave early, make sure you let her know at least 2 days in advance. Not that there is much planning to cover shifts there, but it's nice for her to know. Pretty easy. She is a really good boss and very fun to work with. She is fair and honest. If you ever have a problem with anyone, which, why would you? She is easily approachable to talk to about that person. See, yes. So, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been in the city? You can totally refuse the answer if you don't want to. Oh, your mother helped you move in a few days ago. Oh, que dolce. You must really love your mom. Oh, wow. So she is the only family you have left. I bet it was really hard to move from her. I see. At least your aunt is still there. So, if you're in this park, you must live close by. People hardly ever drive in the city. Except for those idiots. Fairburn? No manches! That is one of the cheaper luxury apartment buildings in the city. I actually live about 2 doors down and across the street at the F4A, which just happens to be across the street from the building our law office is in. Un mundo muy pequeño. Why don't I show you to a nice little food truck area that will knock your socks off? Only when I don't feel like walking across the street and cooking. I tend to take my lunches at home. Of course. I'm sure she would allow you to go home and have lunch if you wanted. Since you do live so close. I guess you will. See? I told you these food trucks are amazing. And the tacos? I come here whenever I want a good taco. Manuel, the one who runs the taco truck, our law firm helped him get his visa so he and his wife could get married. 13 years and 3 kids later, and he is out here living his dream of running a taco truck. Maria, the one who is running the barbecue one, had a successful business over in California. Destacado en su sector. Found out her uncle left her his barbecue truck in his will. And his super ultra secret recipe. She gave it all up to operate the truck again. I hear from some of the other people who've been coming here longer than I have that her barbecue is so much better, if not the same, as her uncle's. They do. They come here every day, except Sundays. But you will get to know them the more you come here. Sabes, I never got your name. It's a pleasure to meet you. You can just call me Ori. I've been with the Calderon group since it opened. Was one of the first employees. So what drew you to this law office? Oh, there! Did your office not have your back for standing behind that woman? She had all the proof of her innocence, and yet the judge and the court took the husband's side. And your office had an issue with you backing her up? Nothing. I know from working this long with our boss, if you were to do that with one of our clients, we would be behind you all the way. Yes, well, the company was started because of the corrupt nature of other law offices. And the boss was tired of seeing families torn apart because of it. I can't wait either. You seem like a really good person. Sure. You can walk me back to my building. What got me into family law? Well, my father wasn't the best man in the world. He beat my mother sometimes until she was bleeding. One day, my father left my mother when I was 6. For 12 long years, we thought nothing of it. Moved from Long Beach to Austin, Texas. I grew up with my mother for all those years. And about a month after I turned 18, after I was already off to university, my father, who was being threatened with deportation back to Mexico, tried to use my mother as leverage to stop it. My mother, who is Peruvian, born in America, and thus an American citizen, brought it before the judge that while they were married, he was never around. Had every single proof you can think of to prove it. And she also admitted and showed pictures of what he did to her when I was little. The judge and the system basically told my mother that regardless if he was around, he had ties in America and skirted by deportation. A killer escaped deportation because the judge did not want to accept all the proof my mother had. So she was forced to live with a man who beat her every night and never loved her until she You can figure it out. The moment she was gone, I swore I would find a way to make him pay. Fast forward to my first case. My father had gone and remarried another woman and had a kid with her. And for a similar crime, he was facing deportation again. I actually ended up representing the woman. I made my case and got justice for not only the new wife, but for my mother. My father didn't recognize me. I was already in university when the original court case happened. So he didn't know I was his own daughter until I said something in the closing arguments. I was unbiased about the whole case. The law office I was working in at the time reprimanded me lightly, but commended me that I was successful on my first case. From there, I started hating that office. So, when our boss was seeking new hires, I heard her story and joined her. That fire has made me successful. Haven't lost a case yet. No por presumir. Well, thank you. Here we are. Thank you for an interesting day. I probably would have just come back to my apartment and probably worked on this case. Can you blame me? I am very dedicated to my work. Besides, I have a very large case. First hearing is on Tuesday, and I feel so underprepared. I'm glad I have your faith in me. It's probably our biggest case our firm has seen. Well, no. It is the biggest case our firm has ever seen. I better go in and at least read the files again. Por supuesto. I'll see you Monday.